It is the end of May 2025, and in this video, we are going to bring you the prices of the most commonly used building materials: sand, cement, stones, iron rods, blocks, and even solar cameras. In this video, you are also going to see all the crazy things that happened in the month of May, such as the flooding and the impact on land, prices of buildings and all that. There were demolitions of people's houses, which cost millions. And guess what? Cement was also scarce and clinker was short. All these and more coming up next.
We are 6 months into the year, right?
Yeah.
And in just the 6 months from January to June, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
Things you never expect to happen. Some were your predictions.
Yeah.
And some of them, we didn't see them coming at all.
I never saw the dollar dropping. So let's talk about that first, right? Because at the start of May 1st, the dollar was 14.27.
Yeah.
And I remember in April, we ordered a new set of solar cameras because the existing bunch we had run out of, right?
Yeah.
And we purchased it at 14.7. Then May starts and it drops to 14.27. And I was bashing myself. I didn't know it was going to get that crazy, where today it's at 10 point something.
Last I checked, it was at 10.3 or 43.
Wow, 10.43. That's just crazy. Now,
in fact, in real time, let's check.
Yeah, let's check what it is on Google.
It's 10.24.
Are you serious? It's almost getting to 9. Now, this is very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
For me, I didn't expect this. I made some predictions around the same time last year.
Yeah.
And I was encouraging everybody to go into their building project, because usually after every election year, after the month of March, the prices of building materials increase, which it did.
Yeah.
And then the exchange rate also increases, which it did.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, things just started coming down like crazy, unexpected. And it hasn't really happened in the history of Ghana, where external factors were the result or were the ones pushing the dollar downwards and the cedi upwards. Usually we pump dollars into the economy and all that.
What's going to happen if the dollar becomes equal to the cedi?
Well, that would be amazing for people in Ghana, right? Because it means that potentially you could buy a house in the US, in UK, in Europe, anywhere.
Yeah, but to the economy of the country?
To the economy of the country, it's going to have like a positive and negative results, right? For people who do like exports, are going to get less money. You get me? And then for the government, it's a really good thing because we owe a lot of debt. We are in serious debt, right? And the monies that we owe to other countries and stuff are in the billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Now, last year, for a single dollar, we would have paid close like 15 cedis. And so if it's like $1 million, that translates into what? A lot of cedis, right? But now, because it's about 10, it's dropped by 15 to 10, it's almost 50%. It means that we are saving a lot. So think about it this way. If you had $1 mortgage, and it was $10,000 remaining for you to pay.
Yeah.
Last year, every month, let's say you are paying $1,000. It means that every month you'll be paying 15,000 cedis. But now every month you are paying about 10,000 cedis. So you are saving 5,000 cedis for people who have dollar-denominated mortgages, right? And people who do a lot of importing, buying things from China, US, etc. It's good news. It's the best news that has happened to us in over a decade.
Okay, but if you're exporting, right? So people are buying from you. That's the main reason why you're exporting. Now, instead of buying from the neighboring country, I think they buy from us because we are cheap labor.
Yeah.
Or because we are cheap.
Yeah.
If we become 1 cedi to $1, it means we're expensive now.
Exactly.
So then they may not be able to buy from us and probably go to the other countries to buy from them.
Yeah, so that's why I said it has both like a positive and a negative side. The negative side, especially for the people in the diaspora, the people in the Africa Building Hub community, they are complaining a lot because hitherto where they send maybe $1,000 down every month, maybe for their family upkeep and all.
Yeah.
Imagine you've left the shores of Ghana, you are doing some cleaning or healthcare job, and you used to send $1,000. It was big money to your family members.
It was.
That was like 15,000 cedis that the bugger is sending down, right? But now the same $1,000 that you are sending is now like 10,000 cedis.
Yeah.
Right, and if your kids are here and they are paying school fees and the school fees is the same amount, you need more dollars to be able to pay that amount of cedis.
Yeah,
You get me?
okay.
So if your children's school fees, maybe your children are going to some of the top schools, like Akosombo, GIS, and assuming they were maybe paying like 15,000 cedis per child per term. Previously, your $1,000 could cover it, but now you need like $1,200 to $1,500 to cover that amount. You get me? So you need to work harder. And for people who like are building houses and stuff, it's even worse. The unfortunate situation is that in Ghana, when the prices of building materials and any other thing goes up, it doesn't come down. And we've seen that the dollar has reduced by almost 40 to 50% or whatever it is. But we are not seeing the effects
on the goods.
Right? Plantain is still more expensive in Ghana than in the US. You get me? Cement we'll talk about the price of cement, but cement prices have become relatively stable at almost 120 cedis. And people expected that since that thing dropped from ending of April into May, by now we would see the impact on the economy, but we are not seeing it that way. And so the same person who needed to buy 1,000 bags of cement is needing to give more dollars for that.
What's your take for June? What do you think would happen for June?
When we spoke to some of the distributors, manufacturers, and retailers, what they mentioned was that the prices will reduce from like the second week of June. But it's not going to be a
reduce.
Yes.
Reduce again?
Yes, but it's not going to be a huge reduction. Currently, you know, when we got Priscilla to go and check the prices on Friday, it hadn't reduced by much. It was like one cedi.
One cedi.
Yeah.
Or maybe it has, but the vendors don't want to reduce it because of the old stock.
Yeah, so that's what they were saying, that what they have is currently old stock. And old stock, they purchased it at this amount. So they finished selling out the old stock. They can't necessarily reduce the prices. Right now, it's reduced by like one cedi per bag across the brands. So Gasem, Supersem, Simaf, all those have kind of reduced by one cedi. There was a rumor going on though that the price of cement had reduced like 82 cedis. We want to let you know that it is completely false, so ignore it. There's no 82 cedi cement
It was 83.
of Gasem.
Of Gasem.
Exactly. You know what they said was Gasem, but Gasem is not 82 cedis. We'll give you the full prices in just a minute. I think it's a good time to talk about the prices of building materials. On Friday, we needed to do some work in the house, and we bought 6 bags of Super Sem cement. One bag was 116.
116 Ghana cedis, yes. Super Sem. Yes.
But we also have the other brands, right? So Cool Cement, 42.5. And again, these are the 42.5 hour grades. So it's important to note. Cool, 42.5 is 102. Strong is 122. The Gasem Rapid 42.5 R is selling at 124. Dangote is 124. Simaf is 125, right? And so generally it's hovering around 100 to 125 cedis on average for a bag of cement. Again, comment below and let us know where you purchase your bag of cement from and how much it costs so that we can know, because sometimes the prices tend to differ from one location to the other. Now, if you're looking for 32.5 hour grade cements, the kind of cement that you'd probably use for your plastering work and your screeding works, right? Then Empire 32.5 hours, the lowest in the system, selling for 83 Ghana cedis. The Cool 32.5 hour is selling for 104 cedis. Simaf 32.5 hour is selling for 95 cedis. Gasem 32.5 hour is selling at 112 Ghana cedis. Right, so as cement prices increase, definitely block prices are going to increase because cement is a critical input in the molding of blocks. And so when we went around, on average, you are getting 6 inches solid blocks for 10 cedis. You are getting 5 inches solid blocks for 9 cedis. If you wanted the hollow blocks, the ones that you would use for the first floor, second floor, etc., 6 hollow blocks is 9 cedis, and the 5 hollow blocks is 8 cedis. So again, comment and let us know how much you purchased yours for and which location. Now, if you're buying a lot, you can negotiate for a discount. Now, it's very strange because in the month of May as well, especially the first week of May, we got that cement was short in a lot of places. And you couldn't find cement to buy. Which is very interesting. Now, it's due to some factors. One, there was shortage of clinker.
That's what they said.
Yeah, that's what they said.
So we can proceed.
Of course, there could also be the sellers trying to create scarcity in the system to increase the prices. But generally, because of the whole US-China wars,
Yeah.
And China is like the world's largest producer of clinker. Ghana doesn't produce clinker anyways.
Yes, I mean we did
purchase
analysis,
from,
so they can check the previous videos.
Yes, we have a whole video on that.
Yeah.
You can purchase from China, you can purchase from some African countries as well.
Yeah.
There was generally a shortage, and so cement was not available because it is a critical ingredient in the production of cement. As a result, cement was just not available.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
And people had even paid for 2 weeks in advance, and we're still not getting their cement.
I think it's wild though.
It's really wild because
it takes a certain level of trust.
Yeah, the effect is going to have and the impact is going to have on real estate developments, like off-plan projects, people who have paid monies to developers. The projects are going to get delayed.
Yeah.
You understand? And we've now entered the peak rainy season.
Would you advise someone who's planning to build now to buy in bulk based on how, for example, clinker just went short?
Yeah.
Right? So as prices have dropped by 1 cedi, would you advise somebody to buy now? I mean, we always tell them to buy now, buy now, buy now.
I think it's a really good point because a lot of people within our WhatsApp community were asking that, considering that the dollar rate had dropped so low and they were paying more dollar or more pound to get the same quantity of cement and building materials, should they stop and wait for the dollar to eventually rise again, which they all know or assume it's going to rise again, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I say regardless, like if you look at the weather, you would not sow your seed. It's a biblical verse like that, right? You need to sow your seed in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening because you don't know which of them is going to be profitable. That's what the Bible will say. So just do it. If the dollar is 11 today, buy some cement.
Okay.
If it's 12, buy. If it's 10, buy. Even if it drops to 1, still buy. Because whereas now, let's say the price goes back to 15 and you are sending less dollars for the same quantity of cement, we could have this shortage again that we experienced because now more people are going to try to buy. And because the demand is going to increase in economics, the supply is constant, right? And the demand has increased. It means prices will rise again. So yes, the dollar may go to 15 cedis, but because now there's going to be more demand because of you guys who stopped purchasing. Now the cement, which is maybe 120, could go to 150. And it will cancel out the effect of you getting more cedis for your dollar. So I'd say buy now, like buy, don't wait. That's one point. Then there's also the point where we don't know what will happen tomorrow. If the US escalations with if US and China trade wars escalate, right? It could mean that maybe some bombs are dropped somewhere. And then we can't even get supply of clinker any longer. What do we do then?
Well, then we'll wait.
You wait to eternity.
Because at the end of the day, unless we go to the other options, which last month, we're talking about sustainable housing, right? So, I mean, you could have a half concrete house, half rounded house.
Yeah, it's possible. And I think that the conversations around sustainable development and alternative building materials is really key. Like things are coming and showing us that we need to change the way we build as a people, right? We've done a video on rammed earth that's going to come up pretty soon. So if you haven't subscribed, by all means, subscribe and turn on all notifications. So when that video comes, you don't miss it. Right. And I was talking about the fact that now that we've entered peak rainy season in Ghana, we have like 2 rainy seasons. And April, May, June is like the first heavy one. And we are in it. We've been seeing back-to-back rains. We've been seeing flooding. When that is happening, it tends to slow down the rate of building projects. Right? Because the artisans can't go to work when it's raining. Nobody expects masons to be standing in that kind of downpour that we're experiencing.
Even if they come to work, right, they can't still do the work. Right?
Exactly.
Even the work that we did outside. When it was raining, he had to stop, and the rain washed part of the cement, so he had to redo it again. Right? It means that if he was supposed to leave here at 12, he ended up leaving here at 6, 7. So he could have probably left earlier. Maybe it would have been cheaper. But then the longer he has to stay, then we pay more. And those who are paying per day.
Exactly what I was coming to say. It's even worse, right? Because that one day they don't care. They came and it started raining the whole day. They are here, and you have to pay them, even if they work for just 30 minutes. So people usually pause their building projects during heavy rainy seasons. And so it means that when all these things are done, the demand for cement is really going to increase from like August, September, October.
So the best time to build is in the dry season?
It's now.
This is the best time to build?
Yes, this is the best time. Don't stop.
Okay. So you're listening. So the best time to build is now. As in, when you say now, you mean the rainy season.
It's every
Or
time. It's
time
today.
is today.
That's all I'm
Okay.
saying. It's not like in the rainy season.
Okay, but the
best
best time to
is
check
now.
for land is in the rainy season.
The best time to check for land that you
Okay.
want to purchase, apartments or houses you want to rent,
Okay.
or even houses you want to buy,
Yeah.
is the rainy season.
Okay.
And speaking of the rains, I mean, we had some serious floods
Yeah.
in the month of May.
Were you affected? Did they affect you in any way?
It kind of destroyed the roads
Yeah.
within my community, right?
That's what
Because
I've seen
I am
it.
on a hill. And so the erosion on the hill is very terrible. I didn't experience any flooding,
Okay.
but the roads were literally eroded.
Yeah.
And so moving from your house to a good point on the main road
Yeah.
is very, very
Stressful.
tiring and stressful
It's
on the
annoying.
car. Not even annoying. Like
It's
it's
stressful.
it's
Okay,
damaging
yeah.
to the car,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Because your tires, you are exposed to like the stones and the rocks are
Yeah,
jutting out.
yeah.
You can get punctures on your tire. Your shock absorbers are suffering. Your
Yeah.
whole suspension system is suffering. You are spending a lot of money fixing your car and all these
Yeah.
things. And these are things that people really don't consider when it comes to purchasing land.
Yeah.
You get me? How does the place behave like when it rains?
Okay.
It's something we really need to consider.
So I went to New Legon, right?
Okay.
New Legon, which is nowhere close to Legon.
Okay.
We went to fix the solar security cameras.
Okay.
Where the area in which we went to fix the camera, the guy has his foundation is pretty high.
Okay.
But then his neighbors. So the day I went, the day before it had rained, but the people around his house were in the flood.
Wow.
You could see the water levels very high, right? And they have to put like sticks to even come out of the house. But he was
He was fine.
So then I asked him how much land cost in the area, and he was mentioning above $80,000.
Wow.
And then I asked him that it's a waterlogged land, and he said yes. And then I asked him why it was expensive, and he said before you buy the land, you will see that it's waterlogged. I mean, I don't know what that meant. It sounded like lands are becoming short, like there's shortage in lands, right? So people are buying what's available.
Yeah.
But he's saying that if you are buying the land, you see that it is waterlogged, right? So when you're doing your foundation,
you need to
should
elevate
know.
it.
Me where I live, I mean, no flood.
You're not affected.
Not at all. I mean, we did a list of areas that were affected by the flood.
Yeah.
Even though my area was not affected by the flood, I mean, we still have almost okay roads. They are not good, but they are not bad. When you look at the areas that were flooded, most of the areas were the prime areas, right? The rich people areas. New Legon, which is not the rich people area, was in flood.
Okay.
The rich people area, selling for 1 million, was still in flood.
But the rich people area, let's define it. Cantonments didn't get flooded, did it?
Okay, so no, cantonments did not get flooded at all.
Yes. It was the Shiashi, the
Shiashi,
Bonglo,
East Legon,
areas that got heavily hit.
Yeah. Right.
And then the lakeside estates, the Shalibotre places, and some parts of Kumasi, and even places in Nigeria.
Yeah,
flooded.
Lekki Phase 1.
And that's also a very rich neighborhood. So what's happening to the rich neighborhoods?
What are we
They're just building, and they are building maybe like they are casting concrete everywhere. They don't leave any place for the water to seep into the ground. So the water is just moving on the surface. Some people even tile their whole house.
Yeah.
You know, and it's easy for the rainwater to just keep moving into the drains.
Okay.
And then in Ghana, people also throw dust, like rubbish into the drains and all that, clogging it.
Yeah.
The size of drains generally are smaller than the population that have moved into the area.
Yeah.
So as more water goes in, and everybody is building walls, right? So the water is able to pile up and come up with a lot of force and move into the drains. The drains get full, it moves into the houses.
So my question is, why do you think we keep facing these flood issues?
We are not doing anything different, right? It says that, I mean, there's a saying that you are like, it's only a mad person who does the same thing and expects to have a different result.
Okay.
Year after year, we are getting flooding.
Yeah.
Year after year, we are choking our gutters.
Okay.
Year after year, we are not desilting. Year after year, we are cutting trees.
Okay.
Year after year, we are tiling our compounds and doing all the wrong things. You get me? And that is why we are seeing what we are seeing today.
Okay, and for those who are building illegally, how do your building practices contribute to the flooding?
Like on Ramsar sites?
That's a good example.
Yeah, so we saw the trending news in Ghana
Yeah.
where houses were demolished on the Ramsar site.
Yeah.
Now, the Ramsar site is essentially a waterway.
Yeah.
Now, people who are building in waterways or on waterways
Yeah.
are blocking the waterway, the water's way, the place the water is supposed to pass.
Yeah.
You get me? And water will always find its level. Like if you put something in the flow of the water, it will pass by and keep moving to other places.
Okay.
And as the demand for land in Accra especially increases,
Yeah.
and it's the same finite area,
Okay.
people are building on the waterways.
Okay.
Places that are supposed to be rivers, they are building on it.
So
the water is now coming more inland as well.
okay. Okay.
You get me? So those illegal people, those are some of the things that we are seeing today.
I think that people don't understand what Ramsar sites are.
Yeah.
To them, it's available land that the government has nicknamed Ramsar sites. They view them as wetlands,
Yeah.
as lands that's just when it rains, it just floods. That's how they view them as. I don't think that the people in the areas even do well enough to explain to them that these lands are also saved for aquatic animals. Because in the Ramsar video, which was trending, you would see tilapia.
Yeah, dead fish
dead
on
fish
the land.
On the land.
It tells you that it was like a river.
Yes.
And now you people have built there to the point that the fishes are dying because the water is not going,
It's not going
again.
Right, and the education on the idea of Ramsar sites is not there. Yeah, the signboards are there.
But people don't know the essence, right? People don't even know the essence of trees in Ghana. So when we move to a place, we cut all the trees. This week I was going through the Hacho main road.
Okay.
And I realized the place looked so bare because all the trees that used to line the road have been cut.
Okay.
You get me? And so if people don't see the value of trees,
Okay.
how would they see the value of aquatic animals? I
So
don't care.
There was an interview where there's an estate or area called the Coconuts Grove or Coconuts area.
Okay.
Where a real estate guy, very young, I mean he's a young, Gen Z, if maybe in the range of a Gen Z, where he's building apartments or houses, right, for people to come and live. And in the interview, he did say something like there used to be a lot of coconut trees over there. That is why the area is named Coconut Grove or whatever it is. But now they are cutting down the coconuts to build houses for people, right? Yes, it may be good for people to come and live there, but now we are cutting down trees.
Yeah. People don't see the significance of trees, and it's a big thing that I think we need a whole video on it.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think that if you are building, you need to look at trees in different forms.
Yeah.
They are the windbreaks, they are the ones that provide like shade.
Shade, yeah.
There's the food that we eat.
Yeah.
And considering the fact that now food is so expensive in Ghana, for anybody who is looking at moving into Ghana, food prices have become so high.
Yeah.
Yam, my wife was telling me one yam tuber is 100 Ghana. Minimum. Yam, one like that, 100 Ghana cedis.
Oh, then I'll just buy fries and eat and go my way because...
And ripe plantain is selling for 600 cedis, 300 cedis. I can't believe it. You get me? So we need to get to the point. Yeah, we need to get to the point where, so we don't buy. You see that Kilewele business has died down.
Yeah, so I was thinking of starting a Kilewele business, but because I've not been seeing.
No, Charlie, they can't buy it again because the whole bunch of plantain is 600 cedis.
Hey, so how much would you make from that?
It means that Kilewele, the pack,
premium,
100 Ghana cedis, and nobody will buy it.
Yeah, nobody will buy it.
But if everybody could plant, there are things that grow really well in Ghana without any kind of like care or anything of the sort. Plantain, banana will grow, cassava will grow. Pear will grow, mango will grow, oranges will grow, plenty things, even cocoa grows, right? So a lot of things can grow that you can get food to eat on a subsistence level. Yeah, pineapple, tomatoes, onion, pepper, beans, and stuff. Everybody who is building should get a backyard garden or something, right? One, it's going to help to, like, as the roots of the plants go into the soil, it's going to create this environment where water can go into the soil instead of moving over the surface of the land.
Okay.
You get me? 2, wind breaks. 3, shade. Like now everywhere is so hot. Everybody has to be using air conditioners all the time. And we are using our sliding windows that don't open fully and all that, which is a whole different conversation for another day.
I mean, what do you think is going to happen in the next 10 years or 15 years if we do not pay critical attention to these wetlands?
The major thing that we are going to see is we are going to start seeing shortage of like food.
Okay.
In the plant life.
Okay.
Because me, when I was in university and I studied things like Ramsar sites and wetlands and stuff like that, it was like ecological breeding grounds for fish, for birds, for algae and all these things. And these things have a critical role that they play in the environment. Water that's flowing through that Ramsar site eventually is going to lead into the sea or wherever.
Yeah.
You are having fishes there. Today, fish is so expensive because the more and more our fishermen are like fishing near the coast, the more the fishes are also going
deeper. So
and we don't even have deep sea vessels on a basic level in the communities.
Okay.
So fish is going to become rare and so expensive, like the way plantain has become. So everything is going to become very expensive.
Oh, we bought fufu recently, and then snail was selling for 100 cedis.
It's just madness. It's just madness.
And the akosombo fish was selling for 80 cedis.
Wow, it's crazy. And some of these places, these ecological habitats, right, are for the preservation of certain wildlife that are also becoming extinct.
Yeah.
But like I said, in Ghana, people just don't care about these things. So you want food to eat today, you're talking about wildlife. You know, so these are things that God has given us, resources that God has given us, that people travel to Kenya to go and look at wildlife.
Yeah.
But Ghana, we are not exploring the potential that we have for biological tourism and all these things.
So the demolitions that they are doing to the people at the Ramsar sites, do you think it's fair?
Yeah, I think it's fair. It's just unfortunate, especially for the people who have invested a lot of money into it.
Yeah.
Because if you are looking at the structure, some are huge.
Charlie.
Right? Sitting on 2 plots of land, 4 plots of land and stuff like that. The total square meters they are sitting on is very big.
Yeah.
And even if you are counting the number of blocks, you just look at the picture, you are counting blocks and cement that's going into it. It's a lot of money.
But at the end of the day, right, even if the government does not destroy them, will the water come and destroy them?
It's possible. But they will have issues of rising dam, they'll have issues of like mold, they'll have so many other issues.
So it means that if a flood like this, they can't drive to their houses or they can't leave their houses either, because they have to either swim
or pass their cars through flood waters.
Wow.
And a lot of cars got spoiled during this flood.
A lot. The policymakers that we have, some of you, they say you're collecting bribe. Some of you too, they say you're doing the right thing. What do you think the policymakers should do better? Because it's like they always wait till change of government, right? Then everybody starts showing their power. Okay, first 6 months, okay, then we demolish this, we do that. After 8 months, the noise is gone. Yeah. Especially as here, we can decide to change presidents in 4 years. We can decide to change in 8 years.
I think enforcement is something that is really lacking in this country. We have all the policies,
but
we have all the policies.
Should enforcement be party affiliated?
No, it shouldn't be, right? It should not be at all. And some of these things, when we subject it to partisan politics, that's when we have the kind of issues that we are having. Yeah. Because sometimes one party will come to power, and then because somebody who funded their campaign and stuff like that says they want a parcel of land to build their estate on, they know this place is reserved, they will still give it out because this person funded your campaign.
Yeah.
You get me? So I think that's one of the major issues that we have as a country.
Okay.
Yeah, these partisan political things. We look at everything through political lenses. And so the willpower to do the right thing is just not there. And so we change our mindsets, especially those of us who are younger, who are the next generation of future leaders and MPs and stuff like that. This is going to continue, and in the end, the country is going to suffer more, right? Because the monies that were spent on demolishing those properties, it wasn't the developers who paid, it was the taxpayer, me and you. The taxes we pay on goods and services is what they will use to hire the equipment to go and break it down, to clear the place and all that. Next, let's look at the prices of iron rods, where generally there has been a slight reduction across board for mild steel or mild tensile iron rods, and a ton is ranging from 7,950 to about 8,500. So let's go into the individual prices, right? Today, the 10 millimeters iron rods is selling for 7,800 cedis per ton, and the unit price is 43.40. The 11.5 millimeter rod is selling for 8,800 cedis per ton, and the unit price is 58.70. The 12 millimeters is selling for 8,800 cedis per ton, and you can get one for 70.40, whilst the 14 millimeters is selling for 8,800 cedis per ton, and the individual price is 92.70 Ghana cedis. The 60 millimeters is selling for 8,800 cedis per ton, whilst the individual unit is 125.80 Ghana cedis. Whilst the 18 millimeters is selling at 8,900 cedis per ton on average, and you can get the individual price for 153.50 Ghana cedis. And guess what? You can get the 20 millimeters iron rods for 8,900 cedis per ton, and then the individual unit is 197.50 0.80 Ghana cedis. And so these are the prices for the mild tensile iron rods or mild steel. If you want the high tensile iron rods, today a ton is selling for about 13,000 cedis. Again, because the prices change according to the location, comment and let us know the last time you purchased, how much you purchased, which size you purchased, and where you purchased it, so that we can all learn and contribute to the discussion. People will be checking the comments and it's going to guide them. The reason why we make these videos is so that you people, especially those in Ghana or in the diaspora who are building, when you receive a quotation from your artisans, for example, they are coming to do the floor of your house, right? And they give you a quote for iron rods or cement. They tell you the quantities they want. You can check this video and use it to compare with what you've been given. And if you are doing your bill of quantities or your quantity surveyor has given you a bill of quantities, come and watch our videos and use it to compare and make sure you are being charged the right price.
For heavy duty structures like the overheads, the bridges, we are ideally using the high tensile, which is expensive. Now there's a trending video I saw where, what did they call it? Scrap dealers. Okay, well, we did not see, their scrap dealers are not showing the video. But there's a video where people are broking the cement, right? And they've bent the iron rods and they've cut part of the iron rods to go and resell.
It's
so
sad,
if these are the prices of the high tensile, means that they are going to be making more money.
Yeah, but I mean, poverty in Ghana is really worrying us, because you are essentially compromising the structural integrity of these bridges and structures. Cars are driving on it because of just some small coins you want to make.
20 cedi.
You are putting everybody's life at risk. Tomorrow you could be sitting in a trotro going over that same bridge and it will collapse.
And I think they do these things in the night.
Definitely in the night. In the day, the place is too busy for you to do this kind of shenanigans.
So then, at the end of the day, what is the point of removing the iron rods to go and resell when you know that, or maybe they feel like, or maybe they remove one, nothing will happen. So then
they don't think that far. They don't think like you and I are doing. They're just thinking of how to eat for today.
Okay.
You know, and it's really, really sad. And now let's talk about the prices of sand and stones. Right.
Yeah.
So for the work that we did, we needed sand.
Yeah.
And when I called the double axle people, I didn't need that quantity though.
Yeah.
Right. It's selling for about 3,500 Ghana cedis.
Okay. And they're in the area?
Yeah, they're in the same area.
Okay.
But they don't fetch the sand in this area.
Yeah.
They go far away to like almost the eastern region to go and fetch it. So depending on how far your building project is and how far they are going to fetch it, the prices may differ.
Somebody needed sand in Chivopraso.
Okay.
I called your guy who brought the cement to ask him to give me an estimate. He said if they were going to send sand to Chivopraso, it's going to cost about 7,000.
Yeah.
I didn't ask why, but I thought about it. Obviously, the fuel alone will cost you like 2,000.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe 2,500.
Yeah.
Before they go and drive to the cement, before their workmanship and all. I was thinking that sand that is supposed to be everywhere.
Available. No,
right?
It doesn't work that way. So there are specific sites zoned for sand winning.
Yeah.
So that people don't just come and fetch sand in front of your house, else it will be chaos. So there are commercial sand winning sites.
Okay.
Speaking of the cost of sand and fuel you spoke about, the price of fuel have reduced in May as well.
Yeah.
Right. With a liter of petrol selling for about 13 Ghana cedis.
Depending on where you buy from.
Yeah, exactly.
For those of you that like premium, you buy for 13 and the rest of us buy for
it's cool down.
12.
So averagely it's around 13 cedis.
Yeah.
And previously it was like 14.9, 15.
Yeah.
So it has reduced slightly. So it's generally good times for people, right?
Yeah.
Though we are not seeing it translate into reductions
Yeah.
in other sectors of the economy.
For a first-time builder or buyer, what is one advice you give them today, as of in June 2025, in this climate, in this fantastic, crucial economic climate, weather climate, all the climates you can think about? What's one advice you give a first-time buyer or builder?
Right. I think that we are in extraordinary times, right?
Yeah.
And so right now that the dollar rates have reduced significantly, anything that you are going to buy for the finishing of your home, buy now. Before it increases. So, for example, people buy furniture, people buy electrical wires, people even buy the plumbing pipes, people buy the fixtures and fittings, the sockets, the switches, the ACs, the lights, and all those things, the bathroom sets and the kitchen sets and all those things. Buy now. If you have a place to store it, excellent. If you have already started a building project and you finish in the next 3 months, buy now. The exchange rate is on your side. You get me? For the first time in my lifetime, the exchange rate is on your side. So buy now.
Okay.
Because typically it will take like maybe up to 3 months for the things to leave China and other places to get to Ghana and you clear it.
Yeah.
So these are really, really good times.
Yeah.
First time buyers, consider that. Things like solar panels,
Yeah.
things like inverters, batteries.
Okay. Okay.
Buy them now.
Okay.
You get me? They don't really expire, so buy them.
Yeah.
Right. Then for the first time builders, I would advise don't set off to build your dream house on the first attempt.
Why?
If your dream house is a 5-bedroom house, mansion, or a 10-bedroom mansion, if it's your first time, there are so many things you are going to learn. Start with maybe a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom house.
Okay.
Something you can start and finish in 2 to 3 years maximum.
Okay.
Because you can see even in 1 month, 2 months, 5 months of 2025, things have been so crazy.
Yeah.
So you can imagine if you are building for 10 years, you are going to experience a lot of crazy dynamics. You get me?
Yeah.
So start something that you can finish in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
If you are single, a 2-bedroom house is good.
Okay.
Even 1-bedroom house, you can do a lot with it. Because when you travel with your wife and things, you go and stay in a 1 room.
Oh, 1 room hotel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes people have kids and they sleep in a 1 room.
Yeah.
I'm not saying settle for mediocrity.
Yeah.
If you are a bit on a low budget, don't start something you can't finish. Even, it doesn't have to be a story building.
Okay.
Even if you want to do a story building, what you can do is just do the foundation for the story building, right? And then do your ground floor, maybe your 1 room, and sleep in it. It helps you to finish fast, avoid the inflationary pressures, the exchange rate, you know, differentials and all that. And then it allows you to finish fast. Learn important life lessons you would not learn anywhere. You learn how to negotiate with artisans, how to buy land and avoid litigation and keep off land guards and all these things. Permit acquisition, registration of your land documents and all that. You learn all these things. Then when you are now more experienced, you can add up to the house. You can remove the roof and then build more. You get me? So you could even sell the existing house, use it for Airbnb, so many things. But at least you've gained experience and you have some property that if push comes to shove, you can use as collateral at the bank. You get me? So if you want a loan, at least you have a house. If you are going for a visa, they will give you because you have a house. You have a landed property in the country.
One trick when you are trying to travel abroad, because they're looking for a home tie. And once you have land, right, the sort of things.
And if you have a house, even better. Even if it's a 1 bedroom, don't come and check. But you have a house. You get me? And property increases. The value of property increases with time. So it's really key. So again, let's talk about the prices of solar camera. The good thing is the prices of solar camera have not increased. We are going to be doing a discount sale this month of June, though the stock we ordered in April have not come yet. When they arrive, we can reduce it slightly. So for the next 1 month, in the month of June, we are reducing this from 3,300 cedis to 3,000 cedis.
Wow.
I think it's fantastic.
I'll think about it.
I'll think about it. So this is a 4G powered solar camera, which means that whether you are now starting your building project or you finished, you can mount this. It has dual lens, night vision, everything that you need, right? And all you need is a SIM card. So even if you don't have a router, you can still monitor, and you just use your phone to monitor the feed anywhere in the world. It has 2-way audio. You can use it to communicate to your workers and listen in on whatever they are doing. So if you want to purchase any, send us an email or use the phone number on the screen.
Yes, and we now will come and fix it for you. So follow Africa Building Hub on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell us the prices of building materials in your area.
Let me know what you think of this format of the video. And again, let us know where you're watching from, how much building materials cost. Were you affected by the flood? How is the exchange rate affecting you? What do you think of the demolition at the Ramsar site? Comment below, let us know, and see you next time. Thanks, be brilliant.
Thanks, be brilliant.